Well, you said the right word, dramatically. This analysis, which the Chamber commissioned and was conducted by Dr. Tomas Philipson at the University of Chicago, found that across 4 disease states, obesity, HIV, cardiovascular, and breast cancer, we have seen $167 trillion in societal value over a 30-year timeline. What this means in practice is that Americans are living longer, they are working more, they're being more productive, they're spending less on their health care because they're healthier, and they're ultimately not having to have a family member leave the workforce and take care of them. Now, looking at that at an individual level, what does that mean? Let's take HIV, for example. The average lifespan of somebody who was diagnosed with HIV in 1995 was 2 years, 2 additional years. Now it's 40 additional years. Breast cancer, from 1989 to 2025, there was a 44% drop in breast cancer mortality. So we're talking about people who are living longer, they are being more productive, and they're getting the value of life. That is not only a massive economic benefit and societal value, that's a human value. It's medical innovation, pure and simple. It's the private sector identifying a problem, the need for better treatments, better cures, and working towards that problem. In the United States, most medical innovation is driven by the private sector, biotech companies, startups, pharmaceuticals, who are doing massive amounts of R&D to find that next generation of treatment and cures. This is an expensive process. Most new medicine development fails. These companies are spending tens of billions of dollars a year to try to find the next generation of cures. And what we have to ensure is in the United States that we have the right policies and frameworks in place to incentivize this. We currently do, but unfortunately there are some policies being considered in Washington that could undermine this American success story. So there's the impact on society, which we've discussed, $167 trillion in value. And just economically, we're talking about $11 trillion in productivity gains over 30 years, $2 trillion in federal tax revenue, and a savings of $600 billion in healthcare. But that's just the human societal value. There's also the fact that across the United States, 2.2 million jobs are supported by the life science industry. These are good jobs, upper middle class jobs, the type of jobs that allow people to achieve the American dream. So by supporting medical innovation, we're getting a 27-to-1 ROI, not only in the societal value of people living longer, being healthier, being more productive, but also in the fact that we're supporting millions of Americans in pursuit of that middle class dream. It's so important because the private sector drives medical innovation in the United States. Several years ago, there was a study that found of the biggest medicines currently on the market, 94%, 94 out of 100, had no federal funding. They were all funded by the private sector. Think about that. That is massive amounts of investment from private businesses who are taking a risk because they want to bring that treatment or cure to market. If we don't have the right policies in place to support medical innovation, strong IP rights, rejecting price controls, we are going to undermine America's medical innovation success story, which ultimately means American patients will have fewer treatment options and they will wait longer for cures. And that's an outcome no one wants. For more information, visit uschamber.com/price controls.